This kid is absolutely insane, all because he was granted divine blessings by 7 gods upon reincarnation. At only 10 years old, he's already become the strongest human alive. Compared to him, even the most elite and majestic soldiers are like toddlers with just a single move. He has them on their knees begging for mercy. Even the knight captain hailed as the strongest in the kingdom couldn't even last 2.5 rounds against him. But little did our hero know, this little duel was about to add another member to his harem. My money, get out of here. Pure hype. It all started when our hero looked for a place to store his monster materials. Little did he expect that showing them would leave the vice captain completely stunned. Because his haul didn't just include powerful rank monsters. It even featured calamity class, rank beasts. Staring at the pile of carcasses weighing over 2.5 tons, Vice Captain began to question who this kid really was. He asked him, "Are you a hero or an apostle of God?" The boy was caught off guard by the question, insisting he was just an ordinary kid. He immediately tried to make a quick getaway, but the vice captain grabbed him before he could bolt. He wanted the boy to spar with the knights and meet the captain. With no choice left, he agreed, and they soon arrived at the training grounds. Though the soldiers had heard rumors of his heroic deeds, they mostly saw him as just a kid and didn't think he was all that special. So the veteran in the first round decided to give the kid a free hit. He let our hero attack first, and the boy didn't hold back.
Let's go! No.
Incredible, even our MC realizes he went a bit too far, and he's ready to bolt the next second, but unexpectedly, the vice captain gets all fired up. He suggests having the boy take on everyone at once. However, just as the battle is about to begin, an elf girl suddenly leaps down from the sky, and she's not just the captain of the knights, but a powerhouse holding the prestigious title of Sword Saint. She starts by pulling the boy into a hug to comfort him, before immediately accusing the vice captain of bullying a child. But once she learns that our MC is the hero who took down 30 orcs all by himself, the captain's attitude pulls a complete 180. She insists on sparring with him no matter what. Honestly, he's just speechless. Before he can even say yes or no, the captain launches her attack, saying the two of them fighting on equal terms. The surrounding soldiers are left with looks of pure disbelief, but it gets even more ridiculous because the captain actually ends up losing to this kid. That's when she makes a shocking decision on the spot. She's going to marry him. Now the soldiers are baffled, and even our MC is totally stunned. After all, he's only 10, and they literally just met today. The captain, however, tells him not to worry. As an elf, she can live up to 300 years, so her youthful looks won't be changing anytime soon. Even so, our MC is still pretty troubled, since this isn't exactly a decision he can make on his own. Hearing that the captain agrees, it's a fair point, so she decides to head straight to the king to arrange the marriage. These words gave our protagonist quite a scare. If the king found out he had gained yet another fiancée, wouldn't he be in for another earful? But he didn't have much of a choice, as he was hauled before the king the very next second. Upon hearing the captain's request, the king was also utterly dumbfounded. To talk her out of it, the king reminded everyone that the boy was already betrothed to the princess, not to mention the duke's daughter. Instead of backing down, the captain became even more persistent, seeing him as an exceptional talent recognized by both the king and the duke. Her desire to marry him only grew stronger. The king, now nursing a massive headache, had no choice but to give a tentative nod, on the condition that he write to his father to seek his consent. The captain claimed it was no problem, and dragged the boy off to the arena to write the letter. The king was left speechless. He never expected that the kingdom's strongest sword saint would lose to a 10-year-old child. At this moment, the deputy captain stepped forward and noted that when he asked if the boy was a hero or an apostle of God, his expression seemed a bit suspicious. Hearing this, the king also began to doubt the boy's true identity. An elder nearby suggested there was a way to test him by using the legendary Earth Tier magic book. 2.5 years flashed by, and the deputy captain noticed that the protagonist seemed a bit worn out, both physically and mentally. It turns out that since that day, he had been on non-stop dates, and the captain would drain every bit of his energy before finally letting him go. On top of that, the Sword Saint title had appeared on his status screen without him even realizing it. Right then, the captain's voice echoed in his ears once more. Just as he tried to make a run for it, the vice captain caught him by surprise and hauled him straight before the king. He thought he was in trouble for something again, but the old king handed him a grade 1 magic book instead. What's more, it was authored by the founding king himself. This immediately piqued his interest. However, He never imagined that the contents of the book were indecipherable to everyone but him as they were written in Japanese. It was then that he realized he'd let a clue slip. It seemed the founding king was a reincarnator just like him. Facing the king's questioning, he felt he could no longer keep it a secret. So he confessed that he possessed memories of a previous life. This revelation completely stunned everyone in the room. His father in particular began to wonder if this was really his own son. To this he assured them that he definitely was, for that is what the gods themselves told him during his baptism at age 5. These words nearly frightened everyone to death all over again. Then he pulled up his status screen, which displayed not only the title Apostle of God, but also level 10 rankings for all 7 divine blessings, considering that ordinary people cap out at level 5, and usually only receive a single blessing. The king was left utterly speechless, because before such a title, everyone in the world is required to kneel before him, even the king himself. However, he wasn't interested in that kind of life. He just wanted to keep living his life as an ordinary person. So he asked everyone present to keep his secret. The king agreed, but immediately followed up with a little prank. Right then the commander burst in once again, clutching a marriage permit sent by her father. She was itching to marry our protagonist right then and there. But before anyone could react, he was dragged off for another sparring session. Didn't take long for news of their marriage to reach the princess and the duke's daughter. In response, our protagonist could only keep apologizing. The duke's daughter seemed unfazed, while the princess merely issued a stern warning.